Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, House lawmakers resume their inquiry into the budget utilization of the Office of the Vice President and the Education Department. President Bongbong Marcos thanks the Israeli government for keeping Filipinos there safe amid its bloody conflict with militants. U.S. Vice President and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris makes a direct appeal to Republican voters in Pennsylvania. And shocking news in the music world, former One Direction star Liam Payne has died. Thanks for joining us. House lawmakers resumed their inquiry into how Vice President Sara Duterte utilized the budget of her offices. Our reporter Zandro Ochona is monitoring the hearing and he joins us now for the latest. Zandro, go ahead.
By the House Committee on Good Governance and Public Accountability is currently scrutinizing the expenditures of the Office of the Vice President and Education Department under the leadership of VP Sara Duterte. Representatives are being made to answer and explain the cost of several expenses, including rentals of venues which appear excessive to several lawmakers. The committee, meanwhile, issued a subpoena against 6 officers from Office of the Vice President for failing to attend today's hearing. The list includes Attorney Zuleika Lopez, the Chief of Staff of the OVP, Assistant Chief of Staff and Chairperson of the Bids and Awards of the OVP, Attorney Manuel Ortonio, Director for Administrative and Financial Services of the OVP, Attorney Rosalie Sanchez, Special Disbursing Officer, Gina Acosta, Chief Accountant Julieta Villadalve, and DepEd Special Disbursing Officer, who is now with the OVP, Edward Fajarda. The committee chairperson, Representative Joel Chua, also instructed the committee to coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration and Department of Justice to place these OVP officers under a lookout order bulletin. Earlier, COA Intelligence and Confidential Fund Audit Officer Gloria Camora detailed how the OVP spent public funds on safe house rentals amounting to 16 million pesos in 11 days. The most expensive amounting to 1 million for 11 days. That's the latest here at the House of Representatives. Mai?
Yes, a lot more issues to look into. Thank you for keeping us posted. Zandro Ochona reporting. The political party under which detained Pastor Apollo Kibuloy filed his senatorial bid contests his candidacy. In a petition filed before the Commission on Elections, the Workers and Peasants Party stresses it does not approve of Kibuloy's election run. The group adds his certificate of candidacy was signed by a certain Mark Tolentino, who is allegedly not a party official and unauthorized to sign the COC. Kibuloy is included in the COMELEC's partial list of official candidates for next year's polls. He is currently facing charges of sexual abuse and human trafficking. President Bongbong Marcos thanks the Israeli government for helping Filipinos in the country amid its conflict with Hamas and Hezbollah militants. Marcos made the remark as he shared a photo of his phone call with Israeli President Isaac Herzog. Marcos says Israel's swift assistance in ensuring the Filipino safety means a great deal to the Philippines. He adds he is hopeful for a swift path to peace and stronger bonds with Israel. Over now to the race for the White House. Vice President Kamala Harris making a direct appeal to Republican voters in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. She highlighted Republican support for her campaign, saying about 100 leaders of the party are backing her instead of Donald Trump. The vice president also emphasized Trump's role in the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack and his refusal to accept his election loss. Harris said Trump is someone who will violate the Constitution again if given the chance.
At stake in this race are the democratic ideals that our founders and generations of Americans before us have fought for. At stake in this election is the Constitution of the United States, its very self. We are here today because we share a core belief that we must put country before party.
Former President Donald Trump claiming to be the father of in vitro fertilization, or IVF. Trump made that remark before an all-female audience in a town hall hosted by Fox News, but he did not explain what he meant. Trump said he fully supports the fertility treatment, which he claims Democrats are putting under threat. The issue on reproductive rights has been a key weakness for Trump in his bid to retake the White House.
Oh, I want to talk about IVF. I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question. We really are the party for IVF. We want fertilization, and it's all the way. And the Democrats tried to attack us on it, and we're out there on IVF even more than them. So we're totally in favor of it.
As for Harris, she slammed Trump's IVF claims. She says Trump's abortion bans actually jeopardize access to IVF across the U.S. Tragedy in Nigeria, where at least 147 people are killed in a fuel tanker explosion. Authorities say the tanker's driver lost control of the vehicle, causing it to overturn. The tanker later spilled petrol and exploded. The accident is one of the worst in recent times in Nigeria, which is battling widespread security threats and a cost of living crisis. Shocking news in the music industry. Former One Direction star Liam Payne has passed away. He was only 31. Police say Liam fell from the third floor of a hotel in Argentina. In a chilling final video on social media, Liam said he was having a lovely day in the country.
We're going to ride some horses. Morning, everybody. Today, we ride. We're going to ride some horses.
It's the last time we're going to see Liam alive. Tributes have poured in for Liam, with heartbroken fans gathering outside the hotel. Liam rose to global fame as part of the mega hit pop band One Direction. The British group has been on hiatus since 2016, with its members pursuing solo projects. Up ahead, President Bongbong Marcos approves 2 new major health and infrastructure projects. The details when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Newsfeed at Noon. President Bongbong Marcos approves 2 major projects during a meeting with the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, one of which is the Health Department's flagship program dubbed Health System Resilience Project Phase 1. The nearly 28 billion peso program seeks to enhance health emergency prevention, preparedness, and response in vulnerable areas. Marcos also gave the go signal for the Mindanao Transport Connectivity Improvement Project. This aims to ensure connectivity as well as easy access and goods delivery to Regions 10, 11, and 12. The Securities and Exchange Commission files a complaint or a criminal complaint against a supplier of secondhand goods for alleged illegal investment activities. Charged before the Justice Department was Elaine Silva, one owner and sole proprietor of Bulacan Ukay Direct Supplier. She is accused of soliciting investments ranging from 2 to 4 million pesos. The complaint was filed following an entrapment operation in Giginto, Bulacan on October 9. She could face a fine of up to 5 million pesos or imprisonment of up to 21 years. The Philippines lifts its ban on live cattle and meat imports from the UK after Britain successfully contains an outbreak of the mad cow disease. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Ch Laurel says the UK has provided evidence that its food safety measures now meet Philippine standards. The import ban was put in place back in May. The mad cow disease outbreak in the UK was declared over in August with no new cases reported since. Delegates from dozens of countries discussed the importance of boosting investment towards climate action. The details from Sujin Kim.
The environment and climate change, high on the agenda of the 2024 Investment Policy Forum. The event gathers nearly 100 delegates from 40 countries to discuss equitable and sustainable international investment policies. For UN Special Rapporteur Professor Surya Deva, now is the right time to give special attention to environmental and climate challenges.
We are not respecting the planetary boundaries. And Philippines is a typical example where a lot of natural disasters are impacting people all the time. So think of the development differently in terms of the investment landscape. So the private sector has a key role to play, and the governments also have a key role to play.
These pressures require strong investment frameworks that reap benefits for people and mobilize resources for governments to invest in education, health, and much-needed infrastructure.
The aim of the forum is for different investors to create and bring home a sustainable development toolkit that they can develop in their own countries.
So a forum like this should be able to bring the policymakers together to ensure that they don't merely look at economic development, but they also look at it from the lens of more holistic development, which is cultural, political, social, and economic development.
This is the first time the Philippines hosted this event, which comes on the heels of the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction. The APM-CDRR, which was also held in the Philippines, likewise highlighted the need for investors to embed in their corporate plans disaster risk reduction and resiliency strategies. Sujin Kim, BNC.
The U.S. urging Israel to follow through on a commitment not to prevent food and humanitarian aid deliveries to Gaza. Speaking before the UN Security Council, Washington's ambassador said America is watching to ensure that Israel does not have a policy of starvation in the Gaza Strip.
1 year into the fighting, with Hamas substantially degraded, Israeli authorities should be working with the UN and the international community on a plan for civilians to move inland. They should be facilitating, not obstructing, efforts to provide for temporary shelter, and they must restore basic services, including water, electricity, and sanitation. I repeat, the United States calls for this work to begin now.
Israel's ambassador, meanwhile, insists the issue in Gaza was not a lack of aid.
The real issue is Hamas. This terrorist organization has hijacked the aid, seizing it for their own purposes. They steal, they store, and even sell the aid that is intended for Gaza's civilians, turning humanitarian relief into a profit machine.
The European Union holds its first summit with Gulf states as it seeks new economic allies and support to isolate Russia. During the summit held in Brussels, the two sides vowed to revive talks on a free trade agreement launched 35 years ago but was suspended in 2008. They will also hold biennial summits, with the next one in Saudi Arabia in 2026. This is part of the EU's diplomatic courting of other regional blocs since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022.
It's really important, what's been important in that meeting, that we have seen that all the leaders are seeing eye to eye on many of those topics and sharing the commitment for a better future in terms of relationship for GCC and the EU.
We're taking another breather up ahead. After 6 years, the Victoria's Secret fashion show is back. A look at the highlights when we return. Stay with us here on Newsfeed, here on BNC. Welcome back. You're still watching Newsfeed at noon. Wings are back on the runway as the iconic Victoria's Secret fashion show returns after a 6-year hiatus. The show kicked off with an opening performance from Lisa of Blackpink. Gigi Hadid then led the pack of models wearing the brand's signature angel wings. Among the highlights, OG angels including Tyra Banks and Adriana Lima gracing the catwalk, and a show-stealing performance from Cher. Multiple controversies and flagging sales shoved the VS fashion show off the air for years, but this stunning comeback is truly worth the wait. Sotheby's is auctioning one of the most iconic sports jerseys of all time, a Michael Jordan red jersey worn during the Chicago Bulls' 1996 to 1997 championship season. The jersey is part of the colossal The Ultimate Jordan Collection auction in New York. Its estimated value $4 to $6 million.
Nothing like this has ever come to market. It's the only jersey from his first 5 championships in red that has ever come to auction. So it's a very special jersey. We like to call it a unicorn.
Also going on sale are 5 other Jordan relics, including 2 white Chicago Bulls jerseys, a flag that he wore when he received his gold medal in the 1992 Olympics, and a warm-up top and sneakers from his days at the University of North Carolina. For the first time, a painting done by a humanoid robot will also be sold online at Sotheby's next month. Organizers say the 2.2-meter-high portrait of English mathematician and one of the fathers of modern computing, Alan Turing, is expected to cost around $130,000 to almost $200,000. The robot artist is designed to resemble a human female with a face, large eyes, and brown wig, one of the most advanced in the world. It works by using AI algorithms and has cameras in its eyes and bionic hands. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.